Steven Mnuchin of the Treasury adds stimulus checks back into the stimulus package negotiation, but has to drop unemployment to make it happen. Hello, and welcome to today's December 9th second stimulus check update and second stimulus package update. Mnuchin and Pelosi spar over stimulus checks versus federal unemployment boost. The state of Texas has sued 4 of the 5 swing states and now has 9 other states joining them, citing that constitutional law has been broken. If you're a subscribed member of my community, then welcome back. And if you're not, consider subscribing right now. All right, now, don't forget to sign up for the Christmas cash giveaway. My wife and I are helping 20 families with $100. It ends this Friday, and winners will be alerted via email. I will make sure to leave a link below. Okay, now, Steve Mnuchin of the Treasury publicly announced a new stimulus plan. The new stimulus plan includes a stimulus check and has a price tag of $916 billion. This bill at this point has been discussed in detail with President Trump and has been made available to Senator Chuck Schumer and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi for review. It did not go well. What we know right now is that Mnuchin's plan seeks to give stimulus checks to 150 million Americans that received the first stimulus check, but to do so, they have to lower it from $1,200 down to $600 per person. So instead of $1,200 for adults and $500 for kids, everybody that qualifies would just receive $600. Now, yesterday, I told you how several representatives and senators said that they would reject a stimulus bill if it did not have stimulus checks. People like Senator Josh Hawley and Senator Bernie Sanders. However, with adding the $600 stimulus check in, it's not clear whether these vocal senators and representatives will continue to push for President Trump to reject this bill, or if they will abstain from voting unless it moves from $600 back up to $1,200. We don't know yet, but we know that they are very vocal about still having a $1,200 stimulus check. So more to come on that. The $916 billion deal is getting traction and support, which means that Mitch McConnell will most likely not continue to pursue his $500 billion proposal and will instead back and promote this larger $916 billion stimulus relief bill. So far, this is how they're able to do the $600 stimulus check. So the bill from Mitt Romney and his cohorts was $908 billion. This new one is only $916 billion. And this is where things get interesting and potentially throw some roadblocks in for getting any kind of stimulus done. As I said in a previous video, I felt like this would come down to Nancy Pelosi having to choose between stimulus checks and state and local government funding. However, that is not the case, and I'll go into that in greater detail here in a second. So how are they able to get stimulus checks in and only raise the total stimulus package by $8 billion? So what they've had to do is they've had to drop the federal unemployment boost, which in Mitt Romney's plan would cover those that are unemployed with a additional $300 stimulus boost on top of their state unemployment for 4 months or until they were able to get back to work. Right now, this new plan says, let's swap out the unemployment boost since they're already getting unemployment from the state, and then we'll just give everybody a $600 stimulus check. So lawmakers are going to have to choose between helping a large number of Americans with some money versus a smaller number of Americans with additional money. Unfortunately, these guys are putting themselves into a tough situation. Personally, I'm grateful to not be involved in government because, I mean, people's lives are at stake, and they're just moving chess pieces around the board, trying to figure out what helps the most amount of people for the least amount of money, right? That's how the government works. So Representative Manchin said, it comes down to stimulus checks or unemployment. So just pick one and let's get it done. After all, we are only seeing this bill as a down payment, and we can always come back to it. So he's just saying, pick one and let's move forward. But again, this is like a touchy subject, right? Because here in my community, I know people that would really, really love to get a stimulus check. I know others that follow me because they really need unemployment. So again, the government is putting themselves into a sticky situation. Okay, so they will have to decide whether to do stimulus checks for 150 million Americans or unemployment for 4 months for those that are out of work right now. On the PPP language, as of right now, it looks like only businesses with less than 300 employees that can also prove that they've seen a 30% reduction or drop in revenue would be able to apply for this money. I know that the PPP money saved a lot of small businesses. However, one of my worries is that in 4 to 6 weeks, we're going to find out that there's a bunch of leftover money that could have gone to just doing a bigger stimulus check. Because that's what happened with CARES Act 1, right? Was they ended up having, like $150 billion left over. So hopefully that money gets used and is able to prop up and get the economy going again. Schools will get around $80 billion. In both proposals, this came down from around $150 billion to the $80 billion, since school is already halfway over. There will be $25 billion for rental assistance. Now, we do have some more details, but we don't have all the details as far as how you would apply and actually secure the money for those that are behind on rent. But any money that is received right now, the bill is saying that 90% of that money must be used to go towards rent or back rent or catching up utilities that you've fallen behind on. You simply cannot pocket this money and leave landlords hanging, or else the federal government will come after you. So there is going to be some pretty tight restrictions around using that money, but both bills are trying to help those that are behind on rent. Student forbearance will be extended until basically the end of April and carry no interest on those loans. From what I'm reading, several senators and House representatives discussed the idea of dropping the liability and also the state and local government, since right now those are the two biggest sticking points for not getting a stimulus package done right away. But it looks like they're now throwing in this idea of not doing unemployment. So what a mess, right? Now, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer put out a joint response. They did not react well to Steve Mnuchin's new proposal. They said, the bipartisan talks are the best hope for a bipartisan solution. The president's proposal starts by cutting the unemployment insurance proposal being discussed by bipartisan members of the House and Senate from $180 billion to $40 billion. This is unacceptable. So there is still going to be some unemployment, but basically it's going to extend for several weeks those that are on state unemployment to continue to receive that, but they're looking to get rid of that boost on top of the state unemployment. I thought the contention from Pelosi would be over state and local money, but instead it's now over unemployment. With 15 million plus Americans unemployed, that extra boost would come in handy and would be helpful to many families. Now, according to the Washington Post, one of their sources said that President Trump was disappointed and actually wanted to see stimulus checks for $2,000. Now, anyone that follows Trump or the Washington Post knows that the Washington Post does not like Donald Trump. So this actually lends credibility to the validity and likelihood that President Trump actually did say he wanted $2,000 stimulus checks, but it looks like that's probably not going to happen. In a press release from the White House, they indicated that the stimulus checks in President Trump's mind was the higher priority to help American families. So unfortunately, it looks like the president and his wishes are being left behind, as this is Congress's job and duty. The president can't do executive orders for creating money, and so only Congress can do that. These are tough days for our country. I guess we'll know more here later today or maybe tomorrow about what they're going to end up with. In political news, the state of Texas has sued other states over not following the U.S. Constitution in this year's elections. They are not claiming fraud, but are saying that many votes simply were illegally counted based on U.S. election laws and the states changing those without legislators who have the authority to change that. 9 other states have joined the state of Texas in this suit. It is expected that the 9 justices from the U.S. Supreme Court will review and make a decision on this. That has not happened since the year 2000, when Bush versus Gore went to the Supreme Court. This is my update for today. As I know more, I will share more. Before you go, make sure to check out that Christmas Cash link below. I will put it in the first comment section. Please, you have to follow the link in there in order to qualify for that. I will announce the winners on Friday via email, as that's what the community asked me to do. If all goes well, I'll be doing a sponsored video tomorrow or the next day. I'm hoping to do one more round of money giveaway before Christmas. I know a lot of people in the community are hurting, and those that have won money in 2020 have been very grateful. So I appreciate you guys supporting my channel and my ability to help others that are struggling. I wish to remind you that you are amazing. Before you go, check out one of my most recent videos. I appreciate you being in my community, and I'll see you on the next video.